Welcome to the 10About Town podcast, where we highlight all of the fun things happening in and around East Tennessee. And of course, spring is coming up this Friday, March 20th, and that just sort of kicks off festival season and all of the fun things to do as the weather starts to get warmer. And joining me now to talk more about this is Amanda Marr with the Sevierville Chamber of Commerce. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me. I'm so excited about spring and summer and all the fun things that we have going on in Sevierville.
I mean, it's not like Sevierville isn't busy all the time, but things really start to pick up this time of year, right?
They really do. And all of our attractions are rolling out their new activities. There's plenty of new fun things to do everywhere you look. A lot of great events. So it's a perfect time to make some plans, come up for the weekend, and just enjoy some time with your family.
Specifically with Sevierville, where can people go? What are some of the best top attractions, would you say?
Okay, well, some of my favorite things that I've really been encouraging people to go and experience are the new animal encounters that we have. Several of our attractions throughout town are focused on conservation and preservation of rare and endangered animals, and American Eagle Foundation is by far one of my favorites. They've recently opened just right off of I-40, their new headquarters, and they have got over 60 birds of prey there that are, being cared for. They can't be released. So they've got a wonderful home there and just great opportunities for people to learn about them. And, if you're looking to meet a famous eagle or two, Challenger lives there and he's flown many, many inaugurations. And Lincoln, who was recently featured in the Budweiser commercial at the Super Bowl, he lives there as well. So really great opportunity to learn about them and even an opportunity to participate in an activity called Talons and Tidbits, where you can actually feed the eagles. So that is a really, really cool experience. Great. The kids would remember that forever. Similar at Rainforest Adventures, they've got a brand new sloth encounter. So that one is so cool because, if you're a fan of sloths like I am, who doesn't love them? They're so cute. They move really slow in the day, but at night they get kind of frisky and run all around their enclosure. So that's pretty neat. But you can go in and actually feed and pet them. So that's a really fun thing. And then Skyland Ranch has always got something awesome going on. And they have got their safari hay rides that are open right now, as well as their Wild Stallion mountain coaster. So plenty of ways to still enjoy that this spring or summer.
And we should note that Skyland Ranch just had this terrible fire, but thankfully some of the things, including the coaster, still intact. They didn't lose any animals. Yes. But can you give us a little update
Absolutely.
on that?
They're, as you mentioned, they did recently have a fire in mid-February, and it took out two of the large buildings on the top of the property, which included the bakery and the mercantile. So those were the two that were completely burned to the ground. All of the animals were safe. All of the staff was safe. So it was really just an amazing story. And it's such a resilient family that owns that property. I know a lot of times, when you think about attractions in the area, you think, oh, big corporations. I mean, this is really, it's a family-owned business. And the Williford family has been so great to our community. And really the community's just trying to help them and stand by them now as they're reconstructing the top part of their park, but still operating everything on the bottom. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Even this spring, they've got some jugglers that are going to be out performing. So they're really trying to bring a festive, fun atmosphere to the bottom portion of Skyland Ranch and let people have a good time there.
And before we move on, I think, as you mentioned, they probably do want people to know they are still fully open and they would love to have visitors.
They are, absolutely, yeah. As soon as everything happened, we went there. Mountain Coaster was still running, so we wanted to make sure and tell people, hey, it's a great way you can still support them. You can still come out and enjoy the park. I actually took my daughter. She was so excited because she loves to ride that mountain coaster. So, we went and she rode it over and over and over and over. The kids love it. So it's definitely one to add to your travel list.
Well, another thing we love around here is probably your most famous resident or who was born there. You know who we're talking about.
Absolutely, Miss Dolly. So she is 80 years old this year, which is, she's just an icon and she just goes. It's absolutely amazing. And of course, we recently had the Dollywood opening for the 41st season and she was on park meeting and greeting everybody. So that was really cool to have her back in town. And of course, we've got lots of great ways that we are celebrating Dolly all year long because we love her in Sevierville. Of course, when you go to downtown Sevierville, you've got the Dolly statue. statue, which is a must-see for all visitors. Come get your picture made there. But we also have a lot of Dolly-related murals throughout downtown. So that's a fun opportunity, too, for people to go and kind of get their pictures made with those. And then you can even pay a visit to the Pines downtown, which is where Dolly played her first paying gig at the age of 10. And it's so cool because you can do duck pin bowling there. They've got a great pizza parlor there. It's so fun. It's perfect for the whole family. And that's a really, really cool vibe as well. And then the events that celebrate Dolly. We recently completed the 9 to 5K in downtown Sevierville. I actually ran that, which was a lot of fun. Well, I walked it. I won't lie. I did walk it.
Oh, that's fine.
I didn't run,
Yeah.
but it was fun anyway. I loved it. But, that was a great inaugural event. And then we've also got the Mountain Soul Vocal Competition, which honors the songwriting of Dolly Parton. This year is our 22nd year for that, and we're actually calling for entries right now. Entries are acceptable through April 16th. So that's a fun opportunity to win everything from cash to prizes to guitars autographed by Dolly. So it's a really, really fun way to explore her catalog of over 3,000 songs. And of course, then that finale event is during Bloomin' Barbecue Music and Food Festivals. So just lots of things like that throughout the year. And at Bloomin' Barbecue, we've also got a couple of very special Dolly-related performances as well. We've got Richie Owens, who is her cousin, and he is performing his Appalachia Ballads, Bloodlines, and the Long Journey Home show. And that's going to take place at that, as well as a really fun Dolly tribute called Here You Come Again. That's going to take place, both of those, on Saturday, May 16th. So we're looking forward to that as well. And again, in downtown Sevierville, a great way to just, enjoy all the things that are Dolly.
And we should mention, we've talked about the music, which is an important part of this, but there's also the barbecue side of that
too,
yes.
Right? Yeah, now if we're going to talk Bloomin' Barbecue, we have got to talk about the delicious food that's there. We have got over 30 of the nation's top barbecue cook teams, and they come from all over the country.
Yeah.
And it is just absolutely amazing what they cook. It's, slow smoking. They'll come in on Thursday night and start setting up. They'll start getting everything prepped and ready, start cooking on Friday as soon as there's meat inspection, because I'm going to tell you what, these people are serious. It's double blind judging. They're competing for national points. They're competing for big money. Bush Beans sponsors this cook-off, and we've got $17,500 in cash and prizes that are going to be given out. So it is a big deal. We always say downtown Sevierville's never smelled better, it's never tasted better, and it's never sounded better. So we are looking forward to that event this year.
Well, we have just a minute or so left. If we can run down a couple of the other events as we look ahead.
Absolutely.
Into the year.
Yeah. So we have got awesome events year round. We've got some great fishing in Sevierville. And I don't know, a lot of people don't really realize that, but we've got a fishing tournament June 6th and 7th. It's the Smallmouth King Bass Tournament. And a lot of people are like, what is smallmouth bass or smallmouth king bass? And I'm like, oh, no. It's just because smallmouth is king in Sevierville, because we have got some of the biggest, most amazing smallmouth bass in the rivers in the city. So we've got this competition. It takes place over 2 days. It is a catch, photograph, release, so that the fish that are being caught are being put back into the ecosystem. And the other thing that's really cool about it is that as you're fishing the event, you're keeping up live with who's winning. So if you're in the lead, if you're in second, if you're in third. So that puts a little added pressure and a little more fun to it.
And then any other events coming up you want to mention?
Some of my favorites are during the fall season.
Oh, yeah.
And Downtown History and Haunts is one of my favorites. That's going to be coming up October 22nd this year. And it's so fun because not only does it provide like a fun Halloween event for families and everybody dresses up. It feels like you're in some sort of a fun Halloween Town movie or something. But we also do guided haunted historic walking tours. So it's a really fun way to learn a little bit more about the history of the community, meet some of our past residents who met their untimely ends in downtown Sevierville, and learn how that connects to very important historical events within our city. So it's a lot of fun. It's a history lesson. It's a dance party. It's a costume. It's everything. You can even bring your puppies out and dress them up as well. So a lot of fun.
Well, we have talked about so many things to do. You can fill up your whole social calendar.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. We appreciate that.
Thanks.
And now let's move on to talk about another event if you happen to like the smooth sounds of jazz. Longtime musician Brian Clay has spent his career mixing his two great musical loves, jazz and gospel, to create Jazzpirations. On Friday, he'll lead an evening of jazz with songs for the Lenten journey. It's at 7 p.m. at First Farragut United Methodist Church, where Clay is the director of worship. The evening promises to be one full of a reflective Vespers experience, where music becomes the Lenten message. Clay will have many talented guest musicians for the concert, which is free and open to everyone in the community. Again, it's at 7 p.m. at First Farragut United Methodist Church, which is located at 12733 Kingston Pike. Covenant Health Park is once again alive with the sounds of football. That's because one Knoxville soccer club is back in action. And joining me now to talk more about this is one of the players, midfielder Nico Rosamilia. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
So you were a player, we got to talk about this first, on last year's huge championship winning team, the MVP, in fact. Tell me about that season.
Yeah, it was a super special season. I think when you look back at it, to be able to win 2 trophies, the regular season and then the playoffs, both at home in front of our fans and everything, it was truly a special moment. And then to win the MVP, yeah, it was a great feeling. Like I said, doing it in front of the home fans at Covenant Health Park, my family who came out to the match as well. You work your whole season, 10 months, a whole year, 40 games for this moment, and to be able to do that with the team we had last year was really special.
Well, you talk about working the whole season for that, but I imagine you've been playing soccer for many, many years to even get to this point. Tell me about how you got started.
Yeah, so I started playing soccer when I was like 2 years old. My dad played professionally for a little bit, so it's kind of in my blood from the start. And then grew up in New Jersey, played for a small club called Ironbound in Newark, New Jersey, before going to Red Bulls Academy. And then going to college at Rutgers University, and then my first pro career, or first pro season was last season in Knoxville. So yeah, that's how I ended up here.
And what do you think about playing here in Knoxville?
Yeah, it's a lot different than New Jersey,
Yeah.
and I grew up 22 years living in Jersey my whole life, so I kind of wanted to change, go somewhere new, and Knoxville's been amazing. I've told a bunch of people this, but it's like a second home for me, honestly, and yeah, I really like it here.
Well, unfortunately, right now you're off the field. Tell us about that.
So yeah, I picked up a fracture in my ankle in preseason, so I had to get surgery in February. So they said the timeline's like another 2 months, so I'll probably be back around May, back on the field playing. So super excited to get back out with the guys and the new team we have this year, which is looking like a good squad to hopefully go out and win a couple more championships.
How tough is it for you to be on the sidelines right now?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of athletes know this is probably the worst feeling in sports, but that's what we kind of signed up for. So just rooting on my teammates right now the best I can. But yeah, definitely itching to get back on the field. We had our first home game last Saturday, so being able to watch it in the stands and not playing was not fun, but it is what it is for right now.
Well, speaking of the stands, we have some pretty cool stands. This is the second year in Covenant Health Park. What do you think about the park and playing there?
Yeah, I talked about this a lot with my friends back home and my other teammates that I used to play with. Playing like in like a real stadium and the environment that our fans give us, it was, like I said, last year was truly special. And then for the home opener this year, they just really brought a lot of energy again. So yeah, playing at Covenant Health Park is amazing.
And what can fans, you kind of touched on this, but what can fans look forward to this season? You said it's a pretty good squad. You guys planning to go all the way again?
Yeah. So we have a good core that returned this year, and then we added some really cool new pieces to our team. And I think with the identity that we have with One Knox and what our coach instills in us, I think there's no reason why we can't run it back and do it again. Obviously, it's going to take a lot of hard work and some luck here and there, but we definitely have a team that is capable of doing it, and it's just about finding our identity and what we do well and being able to transfer it onto the field.
And I believe, if I'm correct, you did not lose a single game last season at Covenant Health Park.
Yeah, that was it was a crazy stat. I think it was a testament to the group that we had and our coaching staff and the fans, honestly. Like, when you play at home, you have kind of a home field advantage if your fans bring it, and they brought it every single game, the energy. And yeah, so I think it's a testament to all of that. And yeah, it was truly special to be able to win and tie every single game at home. So it was a great feeling.
And let's talk a little bit more about the fans. I think sometimes it's hard in some other towns to get soccer fans specifically engaged. You've got sort of the other sports team, but it's kind of can be hit or miss. Knoxville's really sort of warmed up to you guys, right?
Yeah. Soccer in America is definitely on the rise, and I think especially in Knoxville, we saw it last season with the support that we had, and I think it's just going to keep growing and growing, and obviously Knoxville likes winning teams, so when you're winning, it's people want to support that. So I think we had a great foundation last year, winning all the games at home, winning a couple championships for more people to want to come out and support us.
If you had to sort of make a pitch to someone who's never watched soccer, maybe isn't familiar with how the game is played, what would you say?
Yeah, I think we play really attacking style football at home, and we want to score goals. We want to entertain the fans, and at the end of the day, like we're players, but we're meant to entertain and build relationships with fans. We after games will go up to them, sign autographs, and just like really try and connect with the people who come support us, because at the end of the day, when you're playing this sport, you want people to support you and like you. So yeah, we try our best to interact with everyone and talk to everyone after the game. So yeah, definitely come out. We play really good soccer, and we're a great team, so it's fun to watch, and you'll definitely have a great night if you come to matches.
And sort of a visual thing, you guys got some new kits this year, right? What do you think about them?
Yeah, they're awesome. I think it really shows like what Knoxville's about, and I think the colors and the orange in our away kits and the blue at home, it's a cool jersey, and I think I like wearing them. So
I got to say, did you get to wear, I think it was Red Pandas last year? There was a special one. Do you guys know if you're doing that again this year?
That was actually the year before I came
it was the
here.
year before.
Yeah,
okay.
And those jerseys were so cool, and I was like mad that we didn't have like another kit like that this year. But I think we are getting a third jersey. I haven't seen it yet, but apparently it's like a designer in Knoxville designed it, so it should be really cool. So yeah, I haven't seen it yet though.
Any breaking news then about this jersey?
I think there's like a little green on it, so it's different, but I haven't seen it yet.
All right.
Yeah.
What are you looking forward to once you hopefully get back on the field here? A specific opponent or a game that you're already looking ahead to that this is going to be a tough one and we really want to come out on top?
Yeah. I think playing against Portland Hearts of Pine, so a team in Maine, they have a lot of great fans and a buzz kind of around their team. So playing them is super cool. And then Chattanooga, obviously in Tennessee, it's kind of like our in-state rivals. So anytime we play them, we always want to beat them. So I'm looking forward to those two games for sure.
Well, before I let you go, you said Knoxville has sort of become a little bit of a second home. Tell us some of your favorite things to do and see around town.
Okay, so I'm like a golfer, so I like to golf. So the par 3 course, Williams Creek it's called, is super fun to go out and play there with some teammates. Food-wise, I really like Chivo. Yeah. Stir is really good. Copita, all in like kind of Market Square area.
Yeah.
So that's been great. And yeah, I've only gone on one hike since being here, because, I guess with the scheduling and everything. But, the Smoky Mountains and stuff like that is super cool as well. So Tennessee's been great. Honestly.
Well, apparently Visit Knoxville might want to hire you after maybe your soccer career's done. You could be a little tour guide and talk about all the cool, fun places in town.
Yeah, I would love that. So if they're hiring, definitely sign me.
All right. Anything else people should know about the upcoming season before we let you go?
We have another game tomorrow in the Open Cup in New Jersey, actually. And definitely, come to games this season. It won't disappoint. Support us, and, we'll make your time and great, and just super blessed to be in Knoxville and playing another season this year.
We are happy to have you, and good luck with your continued recovery. It sounds like you're well on the way, so we're glad to hear that.
Yes, thank you so much.
Well, we were talking about football or soccer. Now let's move on to talking about rugby, but in this case, we're not talking about the sport. On Saturday, historic rugby will host the Road Bowling Tournament. Opening day is March 21st. And by the way, you can also tour the historic buildings that make rugby such a quaint area to visit. Irish road bowling is a unique game that's played by hurling a 1.7-pound metal ball underhanded over a 1 to 2 mile country road. It's scored like golf. The fewer number of shots from start to finish wins. It's a popular game in rugby, which is an unincorporated community in Morgan and Scott counties. On the 22nd of March, for the first time ever in rugby, the town will host solo male tryouts for the Tennessee state qualifiers in Irish road bowling. The winners will go on to compete in West Virginia in late April and could possibly compete in Ireland in August. We are getting ready to celebrate the start of spring. That means warmer weather when many of us want to get outside and maybe take a few hikes, especially in our state parks. And speaking of that, we are joined today by Ranger Stephanie Mueller with Tennessee State Parks. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
And one of the things we really want to talk about is coming up this Saturday. Every single state park is doing a special hike, right?
Absolutely. Yep. This Saturday is one of the signature hikes that all Tennessee state parks across the state are having. So you can join a ranger for a free ranger-led hike at any of the state parks.
And not that you want to toot your own horn, but there's something about being able to have a ranger lead you on these hikes, right? Tell us about that.
Absolutely. Whenever you go on a hike with a ranger, you're going to walk away with more information, more knowledge about the outdoors, things that you may be walking by every day on your own, but you didn't know about. And so a ranger is a wealth of opportunity for knowledge to gain.
And you know what I like about it, too, is you can be telling me information and maybe I will forget about if I'm tired hiking because I have something to engage with. I'm listening and learning new things along the way, right?
Absolutely, yeah. At our park especially, you're going to learn birds and flowers and trees, all sorts of things.
And you said specifically your park because you're stationed at Seven Islands, right?
Yes, at Seven Islands State Birding Park, we are focused on birds, and so we do a lot of bird banding, bird hikes, bird identification for all ages.
Let's talk a little bit about this big expansion. We've reported on it recently. What can we expect in the coming years?
Well, it is still in the process of the land acquisition, but we are expanding the property, and we are really looking forward to new opportunities to get people to the other side of the river as well. But there's lots of opportunities for research and development and education as well.
And when it comes to your park, you have this hike. Let's talk specifically about how long it is, where it's going to go, what people can learn, and then we're going to talk about some of the other ones.
Yeah, so at our park specifically, at Seven Islands, it'll be about 2.5, 3 miles total. Fairly easy to moderate hike, but we're going to go through grasslands and along wetlands and along the river. So you'll see a lot of different wildlife and habitats along the way.
And what about some of the other hikes that are local East Tennessee parks?
Well, in our area here, we have Norris Dam State Park, Cove Lake State Park, Big Ridge. Each park has their own little gems to learn about, and so you'd have to check out their websites to learn what they're holding.
And are these going to be mostly easy hikes at all the state parks that almost everyone can be a part of?
Yeah, absolutely. Tennessee State Parks is really about accessibility, and we want as many people as possible to get outside and enjoy the outdoors. And so we try to keep them easy to moderate hikes.
And I think one of the key points here is, does it cost any money?
Nope, it is absolutely free. All of Tennessee State Parks are free admission, and these specific hikes on Saturday are all free ranger-led hikes.
How many state parks do we have across the state?
We're over 60, I think 64, but we keep adding new parks, which is great, but I can't keep up with the numbers.
Yeah, that's not a bad problem to have when you just keep adding more, right?
Right, absolutely.
And one of the goals then is basically to have a state park accessible to people almost anywhere in the state.
Absolutely. And even at our park specifically, and a lot of parks in the area, we have all-terrain wheelchairs available for free for people that maybe have mobility needs. And that's another great way to get people outside that they may not have thought about before.
Yeah, and I would like to talk a little bit more about that because I think you're right. I think some people who maybe have some challenges or disabilities think, I can't get out and enjoy the great outdoors. That's not the case.
No, absolutely not.
And is it every park, or should people look online maybe to figure out which parks have accessibility?
People should look online at their parks, but if it doesn't specifically say, they can reach out to that local park and ask, and we can make accommodations too.
Let's talk a little bit more. I know you're stationed specifically at Seven Islands, and you mentioned by name some of the other local ones. But if you had to sort of recommend a few that you like that maybe are undiscovered for some people.
Personally, Frozen Head State Park is one of my favorites. But then also Norris Dam, the lake up there is just phenomenal. So, but lots of wildflowers blooming everywhere. So now's the time to get out there and start looking for them.
And we're talking about this specific Saturday event coming up. Do you have some other events planned in the coming months?
Well, at Seven Islands specifically, we're going to start our bird banding operations in April. And so that's a great way for the public to see scientific data collection in process and get up close to the birds and actually hand release the birds when we're done with them back to the wild. So it's a little unique opportunity.
Yeah, so how exactly will that work?
Well, we catch the birds in nets, and then we put little aluminum bands on their legs and take all sorts of measurements, and then the public can help us release them back into the wild. So those are happening about every 2 weeks or so. We do it through the spring and summer and fall, but people can check our website to find out how to participate in that.
And this might seem like a silly question, but this might be an opportunity this coming Saturday for people who maybe don't typically hike or get into our parks. And what advice would you have to sort of prepare for that? What to wear when it comes to footwear, what to bring with you, not to bring with you, that sort of thing. What advice would you have?
Specifically, proper footwear is key. Preferably not sandals or flip-flops or high heels. Good walking footwear, bottled water, some snacks, sunscreen. The weather should be pretty nice this weekend as far as I know. And so, yeah, just preparing for the weather is best, but water, can't stress that enough, bottled water.
And if they do bring bottled water, I think this is also an opportunity to remind people of the leave no trace rule. Do we want to remind people about that?
Absolutely. We want to keep the outdoors preserved as much as possible, and so we really try to educate people on the leave no trace. Pack it in, pack it out. We want everyone to enjoy it and keep the wildlife safe as well.
And if people do want to find out more information about all of these upcoming events, the Saturday event, everything about our state parks, where can they go?
They can check out Tennessee State Parks online or on social media, and each specific park will have their own programs and times scheduled for their hikes.
And I forgot to ask this question specifically before I let you go. Will you be leading the hike this weekend?
I will be leading the hike at Seven Islands this weekend.
And is there a sign-up process? I mean, can there be too many, or can people just show up?
People can just show up. We typically like to people register in advance so we have an idea of how many people to expect, but it's a free hike. Anyone can come, registered or not. We're not going to turn anyone away.
All right. Well, hopefully it's going to be a great weekend and great weather, as you said.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks so much for coming in today. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Well, coming up next week, we're going to talk about the Big Ears Festival and also a very special baby shower for very special moms. And don't forget, you can always watch 10 About Town every weekday starting at 4 p.m. And we have more streaming for you coming up after this.